It's the Open Bedroom Door Show.
I'm Angela Skurtu and I open bedroom doors. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Door Show. Real talk for real relationships. I'm your host, Angela Skurtu, your friendly neighborhood sex therapist and licensed marriage therapist. I started this show because, let's be real, most of us didn't get sex education. We're out here fumbling through love, intimacy, and awkward bedroom moments with zero guidance and a lot of shame. Time to fix that. If you're ready to laugh, learn, and finally talk about the stuff no one ever taught us, hit play. Let's open that bedroom door, shall we? Falling in love is hard on the knees. Welcome to the Sex Positions segment. This is a show, Open Bedroom Doors show, and on this segment, what we do is I judge different things in our media and culture from a sex therapist perspective. And today I am judging knee pain. So knee pain is something that is preventing a lot of you from having really great sex. And I want to show you with this bed, provided by Mattress Dogs, that you can have good sex still even with knee pain. So as you see, I'm actually on the side of the bed. So I want you to imagine that I'm the man, and guess what? I do have a little horny penis. Woohoo! So here's me with the man penis. I guess it could be a woman penis. You can have whatever kind of penis you want. I don't care. The point is, all right, so here's the penis. You can stand. So one of the reasons standing is good for the knees is that you're not putting direct pressure on the knees. So this is if you're the male, you can be standing up against the side of a bed. You'll notice that there's a pillow here. There's a couple things that you can do with your woman if you're having sex with a woman. One thing she can do is lean across like this, and you can be behind her, having sex with her that way. Or here's another one that's kind of fun. You can have her like this with her legs in the air, and you notice the pillow is lifting her up. So you never want to underestimate the power of pillows, because pillows also take pressure off of knees, backs for any pain. And so one thing a pillow can do is if, say, the bed that you're using is too low, you're lifting her up to you. So if your penis is like way up here, just put 3 pillows up here. I don't know how tall you are, but I'm pretty tall, so this would be high. But the point is, using the pillows to lift her up, then reduce both of your knee pain if she has knee pain too. There can be, depending on your positioning, if you are a tall guy and you have a short person you're having sex with, even just her like this up here and you behind her, that's if you have the pain. But if she has pain, then we want to avoid her knee pain too. So you can do things like, with or without that pillow, she can be on the side like this. Again, no pressure to the knees. There you are on the side, and sex is happening that way. You can also incorporate things that aren't necessarily penetrative sex related, because remember, sex is like all intimacy, all encompassing, right? So on the side of a bed, here's my horny penis. There can be oral sex experiences happening. And that's the truth if you have, this is a vulva from vulvapuppet.com. And even if you have a woman standing here, you can also, different positions for that, right? So you can, if she's a tall woman like this, but if she's a short woman, here's fun positions. She can be standing. I think this is her. There's my tongue. I can't believe I'm doing this on screen, by the way. But so that like neck back position is a way to go down on somebody where they're standing. And again, knees aren't so much in pain. If you want a bed, guess what? We are filming our sex positions here at Mattress Dogs. This is a mattress furniture store, and I am thankful for Mattress Dogs for letting me do my sex positions event in bed. Use promo code SEXYTIME and you can get your next bed here tax-free. We're always looking for sponsors. So if you would like to become a sponsor for the show or for the sex position segment, please go to openbedroomdoors.com and check out our sponsorship page. And we will, if you become one of our sponsors, we'll even let you pick the position. Hello, everyone. I'm Angela Skurtu. I am a licensed marriage and couples therapist, and I'm also a certified sex therapist. And I have with me Vee Mindful. Vee, will you tell them a little about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So, yeah, I do go by Vee Mindful. I'm a relationship coach. And, I started getting into more like intimacy and love type because relationships, I feel like they are such a huge topic. Just like if I say I'm studying IT, but it's like, well, what type of IT? Because IT is huge, So, as I was putting out more content, I noticed that I just, people were more so resonating with like the love and the intimacy. Like, how can we maintain the intimacy in our relationship? So, my typical client is the more mature crowd. So I feel like 45 and over or 50 and over. Just because, I feel like the kids, and I call them kids because they my kids' age. So I feel like the younger folks, the dating is a little different for 20, 25 years old.
So we're going to get right into this segment. I'm so excited to have Vee here to talk about sex after 50. Vee, what are you seeing in sex in the 50 plus generation?
Good and bad.
Okay.
And I had to be very honest, it's good and bad, right? This is a time where most of us are empty nesters. I'm an empty nester. A lot of people are, if they're not true empty nesters yet, they are on the verge of it. And their parents, because we get to an age where our parents really start to, kind of decline, right? But at 50, now it's your newfound freedom. Your kids, them Bamas are gone, or you have a lot more freedom. And so you don't have that holding you back anymore. Having to get babysitters, you can pack up and go out of town. You can do more, right? And then you also don't got to worry about no pregnancies. Like, I am postmenopausal. My eggs are dried up. They're gone. And so I'm not getting pregnant, right? And a lot of men our age, have gotten snipped. So that's the good part, right? You should be footloose and fancy free. Like, we could have sex all day, every day. I don't got to worry about getting pregnant because I used to worry like crazy, back when I'm in my 20s.
Somebody dancing like they're sex dancing footloose.
Yes.
Like, yes, I got it.
Yes, we can do this, right? Now that's the good. But then the other part is our bodies start to freaking fail us,
Yeah.
Then the menopause. It's like, shit, why can't I have this lifestyle?
Guys, right?
Yes.
On both sides.
Yeah, it's like, well, my 25-year-old coochie is gone. Like, you have to face it, right? I wish I could bring her back, but she's gone. And that 25-year-old, 18-year-old penis that was standing up, when the wind blew, that penis is gone too. And so now we got a different lifestyle, and then we got a different lifestyle. So there's a struggle. It's not fair. Life is happening. I remind people, y'all, let's just be blessed and happy that we're here. Sex isn't everything. Women, the postmenopausal stuff, or if you're perimenopausal, right? There's a whole conversation about hormone replacement therapy. Look into it. There's other things that you can, talk to your doctor about. The pelvic floor therapy, right? Talk to your doctor about these things. If your coochie, if you feel like your coochie, like Missy said, you probably don't know that song, but Missy Elliott did a song.
Coochie, coochie, coochie.
She's like, she did a song where she was like, coochie, don't fail me now, right? And so you don't want coochie, don't fail me.
Coochie, please don't fail me. It's so funny, but like, I have a lot of clients who really get bummed because they're finally mentally in a headspace where they feel more sexually empowered. And so we get these young bodies in our 20s, but we're still so insecure and like we don't know who we are or what we're okay with or not okay with. If you had any sort of shame when you were growing up about sex, you're still working through some of that. Yeah, so all of that sexy energy, it's like, okay, now I'm in my 50s. I don't care about that stuff anymore. The judgments are off, and like now my body is betraying me. How dare you, body?
I know.
You seeing that? It's like,
hell yeah.
Why?
I mean, I've experienced it. I have definitely I have experienced the painful sex. Like, I'm like, I mean, I'm half Chinese and I'm half Black. And I tell people all the time, like, there's a billion plus Chinese people for a reason, right? Because my coochie used to be just dripping.
It was just dropping kids like flies.
Girl, I'm telling you right now, like, I had the ideal cooch. Let me tell you, that cooch is, I'm like, where'd she go?
Just so everybody hears, Vee Mindful had the best cooch for baby making. We're just so grateful.
I was like, oh, okay, I see why my daddy married my mama. I see, okay.
Okay.
But then 50 hit, menopausal hits. So let me just say menopause hits. And yeah, it's, now you got to start having those conversations. And ladies, please, if you are experiencing something with, something's not feeling right anymore, go have the conversation with your partner, because don't pull away from your partner. Like, if y'all are having sex a lot and then now that the sex is hurting you, right? Don't just pull away from your partner. Like, we got to have these conversations. Men too. I had a client where she wanted sex more and more and more. Her man pulled away. He wasn't telling her that he was dealing with ED. Y'all, we can't do that. We have to communicate. Let's talk. Because you might be going one thing and your partner might be going through another thing. We got to share it, because then they're going to start taking things personally, thinking you don't want me anymore.
So Vee, I see this a lot in my practice. And the hard thing is, so because people can't talk to each other, then they can't get the help that they need, right? So like, I want everybody listening to know there are options for painful intercourse. If you go to your doctor, there are different medications and prescriptions that can be given. You can also even get into female pelvic floor physical therapy, which actually it is impacting, like they basically do exercises and strategies to impact your suppleness. I know that's such a weird word, but like help you be supple again. And like people, because they can't talk to each other, then they'll take years before they'll get help from some sort of outside party. I'm a sex therapist, so I also help with like having different ways to be intimate that don't have to include penis and vagina intercourse. But again, if you can't do what you just said, talk, how are you going to get help? Like, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
And for guys, there's ways to get help too, right? Like, so you can go to your doctor. There's also pelvic floor physical therapy for males to help them get back their strength. And the talking, again, same thing. Like, as a sex therapist, I teach people, here are the different ways to be intimate that don't have to involve P and V. But like, people are so stuck on it has to look this way. Are you seeing that? Like, do people struggle to switch from the idea that like sex has to look this way and now let's open that up? What do you see?
We got to get away from that's why it's like, let's normalize having those conversations first and foremost, and get the stigma stuff. Like, some people, as you know, some relationships, people watch porn and it's like, that little rabbit, that little pounding, like you pounding, that they do that sugar honey iced tea in porn, right? That's not real life. Like, that doesn't, especially if my coochie walls have dropped, you are hitting the wall,
It hurts.
So
I don't like what you're doing.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, like but here's the thing. I think it was our conversation when I said that, like, to you, like, I had told I had this before about 4 or 5, I don't know, years ago, and he told me that no other woman has told him that rabbit type banging, like, I mean, he would get in the vagina and girl just bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, hold on now.
Ouch, stop that.
He said no woman had told him that before. And I'm like, dude, at 54 years old, you mean to tell me, women, y'all got to start speaking up. You got to let people know.
How many coochies have you abused?
And I'm like,
unintentionally.
I'm like, this ain't the 25-year-old coochie now. You got the...
To be fair, I do want to put it out there, like, I like that. I do like that rabbit style of coochie banging. So like, you do need to talk to your partner, because like my husband is really good at that, and I was super excited to get it, and so like, they say it's the motion in the ocean, but like, you've got to talk to your partner about what motion they want in their ocean.
You ain't lying. Like, do I want a rowboat? Do I want a speedboat?
Like, here's the row. Do I want a speedboat? Do I want like jackhammer, but then like, let's slow down? Do I want like, actually, I do this thing, I call it the cuddle sex pose, where you are, it's not even about movement. It's just about putting a penis inside and like holding each other and just kissing each other. So like, you literally could just be like inside one another, feeling each other's skin to skin contact. So that's what I call cuddle sex. And it's literally about intimacy. Like,
well, that sounds good.
It feels really good. It is the hottest sex you could have. Like, well, I mean, there's a lot of hot sex, but like, it's one of my favorites lately, where you're just, it's not even about the movement. It's about feeling bodies and being as close as you possibly can. And I think that's what's missing, is like, people, to your point, if you're not talking, you don't know what she wants or he wants or they want. Yeah.
I know.
How hard is it for people to start talking about sex in your career? Like, when you're helping coach people, like, is it easy? Is it challenging? What do you find when people are trying to figure that out?
I find it's cultural, because I have clients, and I'm not saying it's only cultural, that I have found that sometimes it is cultural. Like there's a stigma about certain things that can be brought up and not brought up. Like those who are from America, I think we're a little bit more vocal, but I've had clients who are not born and raised in this country. And so it's a different type of dynamic, even with men not bringing it up. So I find that, you just got to get over it because it's your body. One thing we talked about last night on the show was we were talking about STDs. And my co-host was saying look, I don't like condoms. I don't like condoms. I don't like it. I was married 19 something years. And now I got to get back out here and wear a raincoat. Okay. But,
Okay.
we don't know what's out here in these streets, right? We have to protect ourselves. And women, we have to protect ourselves. One thing he said was that he didn't have a lot of women bringing up the safe sex conversation. And I stuttered on that point for a second. And I'm like, why not? What it's your coochie, and you're receiving the energy. You have a higher chance of getting HIV from a man than that man has getting HIV from you. Right. And that has been proven. And it's like, well, ladies, we gotta get over the being uncomfortable. It's a penis and it's a vagina.
Well, Vee, it's interesting. As you were talking, I was remembering back to when I was dating right after the divorce. And so this is a funny thing, right? So you think Angela is a sex therapist. She can talk about anything, right? Well, guess what? I was having different sexual experiences and I was struggling to have those conversations with new people. Even though I'm the person who talks about sex all day, every day. I remember I actually did, whatever, I'll tell this story. I had a sexual experience with a guy and I knew he was snipped because it kind of randomly came up, but we didn't have any talk about the condom thing. We didn't talk about anything. We did have sex and I was like, Angela, what are you thinking? Why wouldn't you have this talk with him? But I was just scared, I'd not dated in a while. Okay. I thought he was a good guy. I liked him and all that. So I was I basically kind of justified it in my head that we'll hope for the best. But I think a lot of women do that. And I can even say I did it too. I had to I personally had to learn to take the risk. Angela, this is going to be scary, but you can do this. And then I'd push myself to do it. But initially, I even had trouble talking to people about sex, and I'm a sex therapist.
Wow. That was the whole conversation last night. What I was doing, and we had nurses on. Next time I do that conversation, I'm going to get a medical doctor on there. Because we had nurses that were thankfully giving us, stats in the chat. Right. But, in CVS and Walgreens, they sell the HIV test. You swab some gums, and I brought that with me, girl, and I had a couple of men take that test. Now, it may not be as accurate as a blood test, but I'm about to swab open your mouth, open your tongue, because we're going to swab, because I am a hypochondriac. You do not want to have sex with me.
Wait, so that's the dating process? So first we go on a date, then I'm going to swab your mouth. And then once I have these STD checks, then we can maybe on the second or the third date have sex. Is that how you do it?
Girl, yeah. But no, I also asked to see blood test results. I'm ready. And I do not accept anybody's blood test results in a PDF. PDFs can be edited. Okay.
You actually get the blood test results. Wow.
Oh, I don't play.
You are way beyond me.
Girl, I ain't playing. I absolutely, and I encourage my clients, it's having a conversation, not in a sexual, not so what position you like? You like it in the morning? You like me to, and all this other stuff. It's not that type of conversation. The conversation it's a qualifier. Right. I need to know about you sexually, because I want to have enjoyable sex. I know my mind goes into worry mode, girl. I'd be like, it's a naked penis.
Vee, I really appreciate that you're normalizing STD checks, though. That's a really cool thing because, I think even that conversation of, have you been checked? So, I would get checked regularly when I was dating because I knew,
Yes.
So, just something we should talk about. We didn't get to talk about it in your last episode, but, about, dating after divorce. I think we all go through a little slutted up phase where we just want to, get around and, you're I've been stuck in a marriage and I want to see what else is out there. But I think even in our 50s, since we're talking about sex after 50, there's this like, I want to see what's out there. I only got so much life to live. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Yes.
And so I just love that you're normalizing that. And what I would suggest is if you are sexually active, at least be getting checked once every quarter. I don't know if you'd give a different suggestion, but that would be mine.
I would just get tested, y'all, please. Just know what you're, I mean, and I will say in the Black community, our numbers are higher. Our STD numbers are higher when it comes to herpes. Like, I did not know this. I literally found this out last night. Like 1 in 2 Black women between the ages of, I think it was 19 and 49 has herpes. And I'm like, you got a 50-50 chance.
That's a pretty high chance.
And I'm like, you know what? I ain't willing to take no damn chances. Like, you gotta, yes, let's normalize those conversations.
Where can they find you?
You can find me. I would say if you want to hear more about the Sex After 50 talk, I have several videos on YouTube where I talk about all those topics. So Vee Mindful on YouTube.
All right. Thank you, Vee, so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Want to spice up your sex life? Then be sure to pick up a copy of my new book, From No to Yes Sex.
Tired of routine sex? Feeling more like roommates than lovers? Wondering where the passion went or if it was ever really there? You're not alone. And guess what? You don't have to settle for a sex life that's just meh. This is the first book in my Open Bedroom Doors book series, where we strip away the awkwardness and build a foundation for lasting passion. Whether you're in a long-term relationship that's lost its fire or just tired of going through the emotions, this book is your invitation to transform your love life one thought at a time.
Don't wait. Order now. That's too spicy. Well, guys, on the Open Bedroom Doors show, we often have content that's a little too spicy for your typical social media platforms. So for those of you who are like, I love everything Angela Skurtu and I want to know all the spicy details, we actually have a space where we put the uncut shows, and it is at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. So you can subscribe to that channel and get all the behind the scenes, all that spicy stuff that I wasn't able to put in the show. That's too spicy. So I hope you can join me at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. Keep in mind, that is how you support me. So it is a subscription channel where you have to pay to subscribe, but you are becoming a supporter of me and putting out this awesome content as a result. So please join me for those spicy, spicy things. I'm Angela Skurtu, and on every show, I answer one of your sex questions. Joining me as always are my BDSM bears, Barry Bonds and Consent Cub. If you'd like to have your questions answered on the show, please submit a question in the comments below, or you can submit a contact form at my website, openbedroomdoors.com. Is it normal to fantasize about other people? Yep. Yep. So there's a joke about getting spank banks that some people, like, it's more a joke in the guy world, but like, you see people in your day-to-day life, you see something sexy and you put that in your spank bank. But I want to tell you, people all alike, it doesn't matter what your gender is. Many people have spank banks, and it doesn't mean you're cheating. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Your mind is yours. It is your safe place to explore, fantasize. I do know some people who fantasize about their own partner, and that's fine. I know people who fantasize about the person at the grocery store or their pastor. Oh, your pastor. Yeah. I know people who fantasize about their pastor. One thing I really want you to know is that your brain just because something happens in here doesn't mean that you've done something out in the world. Like, our brains are kind of random and weird, right? Like, have you ever been driving and you're suddenly going across a bridge and your brain just randomly imagines you driving off the bridge into the water? Like, yeah, me too. I've done that, right? That's not like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong, I'm gonna jump off the bridge. No, your brain just does stuff like that. It's kind of random, impulsive, and it gets interested and starts putting little pieces together, right? And so one of its actually the brain's a predicting machine. Not the best predicting machine all the time, but like, it's imagining, if I turn this way, maybe I'll go off the bridge. Let's not do that. So it is trying to like prevent you from doing it as well. And that's the point. So your fantasies are just your brain kind of putting pieces together. If you've read a book recently that was a little sexy, yeah, your brain's going to start putting a few of those pieces together for sure. So let it go. It's not a big deal. Sometimes people are using fantasies about books or things they watched on TV to ignite excitement in the bedroom. And that's totally normal, and it's a great way to amp up your sex game. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. If you laughed, learned, or blushed a little, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs a little more real talk in their life. Got a burning question about sex, love, or relationships? Check out openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. Your question might just be featured in a future Happy Ending segment. Until next time, keep it honest, keep it sexy, and most of all, keep those bedroom doors open. Good night and have a sexy tomorrow.